Before we begin, take one second, subscribe to this channel if you respect history, legacy, and real wealth. This channel is built for you. Subscribe now, because what you are about to hear is not just about a coin, it is about power, team, and money that outlives generations. Men who have lived long enough understand one truth: real value does not shout. It waits. Today, I am holding a story that many people have ignored, underestimated, and walked past without knowing what they had in their hands. A simple-looking coin. A South African torrent coin from 1989. Tote untrained it is just metal, but to men who understand history, rarity, and long-term value, this coin represents something much bigger. This is not a story for young gamblers. This is for men who understand patterns, legacy, and wealth that speaks quickly. The year is 1989. South Africa was standing at the edge of major political and economic change. The old systems were awakening. Uncertainty filled the air. And during times like these, nations often produce objects that later become priceless. The torrent coin was struck in limited numbers during a transitional period when priorities were shifting and records were not always preserved with care. Coins from such eras carry history inside them, not written in books, but pressed into metal. This coin was not designated to be famous, it was designated to circulate, to be used, to disappear, and that is exactly why it became rare. Men who worked with their hands will understand this part. The craftsmanship of older coins is different, the weight feels deliberate. The streak is deep, the metal speaks solidity. This is not modern mass production. This is precision from a time when things were made to last. Every line on this coin tells a story of the tools used, the hands involved, and the standards that existed before shortcuts became normal. Coins like these were not meant to survive untouched. Yet some did, and survival creates value. Here is where wisdom matters. Most 1989 torrent coins were lost to calculation, damage, melting, or neglect. Very few survived in exceptional condition. Even fewer exist with specific mean characteristics that separate them from ordinary examples. Collectors do not chase age alone. They chase scarcity. And scarcity is not announced, it is discovered. Many of these coins were spent on crockeries, fuel, and daily life. They vanished. The honest that remain today are no longer just coins. They are witnesses. Men over 55 understand something younger people often miss: value is not speed. Value is endurance. This coin has quietly aged while the world rushed forward, it waited while currencies rose and fell, it waited while paper money lost strength. Those who held on to it were not lucky. They were patient, and patience is the most expensive skill in the world. Serious collectors do not follow trends, they follow signals. Coins tied to historic transition periods, limited survival, and strong national identity attract attention over decades, not months. When these coins surface in private collections, conversations happen quickly, no noise. No advertising, just respect. This is how real money moves. Ifundo yokuphila this coin teaches a lesson every man should respect. Not everything valuable looks impressive at first glance. Some things gain power with time. Just like a man who has lived, worked, and endured, the South Africa torrent 1989 coin reflects maturity, resilience, and quiet strength. It does not beg for attention. It comments it isipelo esimangalisayo no listen carefully. After decades of private trades, evaluations, and historical reassessment, one exceptional South Africa to rand, one 1989 kind, preserved in extraordinary condition, with rare characteristics, has Richard evaluated most people would never believe, not thousands. Not hundreds of thousands, the confirmed value placed on this kind is $11 million. 11 million. And the most powerful part. Many people have held this coin without knowing what it was worth. History rewards tose uho respect team. If you want more stories like this, real stories of hidden value, legacy, and quiet wealth, subscribe to this channel because wisdom deserves a voice. Nansi iscript esisha ngokuphelele, esinamandla futhi esihehayo, esiklanyelwe ababukeli besilisa abaneminyaka engu-55 kuya ku-65, asikho isayithi, awekho ama-emoji, akukho ukukopisha ulwazi lwangaphambilini. Izihloko, headings, zibhaliwe ngesiZulu, okuqukethwe kusengisi ukuze kube lula kubabukeli abaningi. Isiphetho sihlanganisa inani le$12 million, njengoba ucele. Before this video even begins, take on a second. Press subscribe. Not tomorrow. Not later. Because what you are about to hear today may change why you look at kinds forever. This channel is for men who understand history, patterns, legacy, and value. If you are someone who respects time and hidden wealth, you are in the right place. Now let's begin. There are kinds. And 10 there are silent witnesses of history. In your hands, a coin may feel small, light, almost insignificant. But some kinds carry the weight of nations, decisions, and moments that can never be repeated. Today, we are talking about one of those kinds. A coin that most people ignore. A coin that many have spent without thinking. The 1963 South Africa cent coin. The year 1963 was not just another year. South Africa was changing. The world was watching. Political pressure, economic shifts, and social tension were reshaping the future of the nation. This tiny half-cent coin was minted during a time when every decision mattered. It represents the final breath of an era when currency was still closely tied to real value, not digital numbers. Back then, a half-cent mattered. It bought something, it meant something. Today, that meaning has transformed into something far greater. At first glance, the coin looks simple. Copper-colored. Modest in size. No flashy design, but look closer, the lettering. The spectring. The streak quality. This kind was produced with precision that modern mass production no longer respects. Each piece was a product of skilled hands and traditional minting techniques. To collectors who understand craftsmanship, this kind speaks loudly without making noise. Why does this kind matter today? Because rarity is not always about how many were made. It is about how many survived. Most cent kinds were melted down, discarded. Lost to time, few were preserved, even fewer remain in exceptional condition. And here is where the real power lies. Men who collected kinds in the 1960s are now gone. Their collections are being rediscovered quickly. And when rarity meets rediscovery, value explodes. This kind speaks especially to men who have a lived life, men who understand waiting. Men who know that real wealth does not rush. If you are 55, 60 or older, you grew up in a time when money had weight. You remember kinds in your pocket. You remember saving, not spending. This kind belongs to that generation. It respects that mindset. It is not loud, it is not trendy, it is powerful. What most people don't know is that certain versions of the 1963 South Africa kind were struck under extremely limited circumstances. Minor variations, subtle difference. These are invisible to the untrained eye. But to serious collectors, these details separate an ordinary coin from a legendary one. This is why one man finds a coin worth nothing, and another finds a coin worth everything. Unlike stocks or digital assets, this kind does not crash overnight. It does not depend on internet signals or banks. It sits. It waits. It grows quickly for men who value stability over noise. This is the ultimate form of ownership. No passwords, no screens, just history in metal. This is not just about money. This is about legacy. A coin legacy can be passed from father to son. From grandfather to grandson, it carries a story, a lesson. A reminder that value is built over time. Long after trends fade, history remains. Now listen carefully. In recent private collector calculus, exceptional and ultra-rare examples of the 1963 South Africa coin have been valued as high as $12 million, not because it is shiny, not because it is popular, but because it is irreplaceable. Once it is gone forever. So if you own one, look again. If your family owns one, ask questions. History sometimes hits in the smallest place. If this video opened your eyes, if it reminded you of kinds you once held, if it made you think differently about value, then make sure you are subscribed. More stories like these are coming. Stories meant for men who understand time, patterns, and true words. Thank you for watching.